What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja, and today we got a brand new cutscene in Destiny 2. So we're going to talk about the narrative beats of that, what that means for the future of Destiny in terms of the story, the settings for next season, and where this leads with Lightfall. And honestly, it's a very good, juicy cutscene to talk about. But there is problems. It has to do with how it was just presented, of just getting plucked in out of nowhere. Not even the community event has any connection to this cutscene itself, so we'll talk about that at the end. But let's jump into some of the story beats and some of the narrative details I want to get over. Now, for one, it starts off with Mithrax helping Saint craft this little darkness tea to give to Osiris to drink in order to revive him or awaken him from his coma. Now, this itself is a little weird. I mean, I'm all for it. It's pretty cool, but it's just something that's like, dude, you're making something out of darkness. It's a dark, black, gooey drink, and you're gonna use this to awaken him. When has anything drinkable from darkness in any fantasy property ever worked out? You get a tea from a darkness entity, you're not supposed to drink it. So I'm a little confused about that approach. That threw me off a little bit, but again, we see Osiris waken. And one of the most important parts of this was him recalling the things he has seen or learned as being Savathun, because again, it seems like they have shared their memories. What she knows and what he knows have been bonded into one. I think that's very cool, and I'm glad that we get to see what she knew and see the truths in the lies she told. And honestly, it seems like Savathun was being very truthful. One thing I honed back to is the two truths and one lie of her telling us that, what if I told you the last city was not the last city? That really resonated with me, because we had lore bits with Rasputin before, in terms of before he shut down, that he communicated with an outside civilization. Basically, it implied a potential city in the solar system that wasn't our last city, which I thought was pretty intriguing. And seeing where Lightfall is and where it went, and it definitely seems like Bungie has planned this for some time and had this idea of Neptune and Neo-Numa for some bit, and that was pretty cool. Now, one thing to mention about this was the secret that is hidden on Neptune. Now, this doesn't sound like it's a city. It sounds like it's an artifact. It's a device. It is something that the Witness so desires, and he is using Callus and his forces to invade Neo-Numa, and why the Lightfall expansion is there. This is something I really like. It's actually a bit I didn't think we'll get. There is a reason why they were invading Neo-Numa. Maybe it was to weaken the potential of the last city and the Traveler's forces. I thought maybe it's just like an entry battering ram trying to get the last city on its knees before just crushing it. But it seems like there's actually something on this planet, on this location, that is of relevance to the fight between darkness and light. And that is really, really exciting. And one thing to mention, guys, I have to, because it's really impactful, really meaningful, was the kiss between Osiris and Saint 14. It was, I guess you could say, a declaration of their love, showing that their relationship exists to the masses, was something that I thought was very beautiful. If you guys know the lore of Destiny 2, you know that this isn't surprising at all. Saint 14 and Osiris are lovers, but again, solidifying that in the masses is something I think is really important, and honestly really essential to both the character of Osiris and Saint 14, because again, you may be wondering why Saint was so mad. It was because that was his boyfriend. That's someone he loved, and I thought that was great, and just showing that to everybody was very fitting, and also brings the story of Saint 14 and Osiris' relationship full circle. Osiris saved Saint 14, and now Saint 14 has saved Osiris, and again, it's a proclamation of their love. It's a beautiful tale, and honestly, I'm really, really shocked that we have gotten this at this point. I thought we were going to get something like this next season, but that leads us to what next season is going to be about, and it has to lead into Lightfall. So I expect Rasputin, I expect all these different things of building our force to aid with Neo-Numa. Osiris should probably be in it in some capacity, learning what he has learned from Savathun and what he is seeing, and all these different knowledges that he has that we don't know of, and I guess you could say confirming the truths and the lies that Savathun told us. Lightfall itself, very excited for that expansion. Witch Queen was a knocked it out the park. Can't wait to see what they do with Lightfall. I just wish that the presentation of this all felt a little bit more synergetic. The community event had no representation of what anything happened in this cutscene, so it just felt like a big delay of, I guess you could say, the end of the story for the season. We got all the artifacts. We could have racked that up at some point, but this season, for the most part, when it comes to just rewards and I guess you could say, player interaction with story really missed the mark. Some of the activities are great. Again, I love Catch Crash, I love Expeditions, but again, that interaction between story and gameplay are not there, and that's something I want to see next year. I don't think we'll get much of it in the following season or next season specifically. Usually, you know, the season before a massive expansion is something of a, I guess you could say, an overhaul, a change, a tease of what's to come next year, but we'll see. We have to wait and see. Probably a lot of dev time is going into Lightfall, which is, I understand. So we have to wait and hopefully get details soon before the reset next week of what next season's all about. But I'm excited. So if you guys are excited, you guys enjoy this cutscene, definitely drop this video a like. Helps out the video a ton. If you guys are new here and want more content from me, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified for when I drop more content. But till then, that's all I got for this one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.